Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session in clause number M333828. Case of Style of State of Texas versus Orleans Solomon. Solomon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Solomon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Solomon, you may put your hand down. Hey, how are you doing, Mr. Solomon? Yeah, that's good. Now, Mr. Solomon, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Now, previously, you had indicated on this document that you wanted to apply for, well, that you wanted to waive your right to an attorney and to represent yourself. Is that correct? And now you're requesting, you have some initials on the line stating that you want to apply for court-appointed attorney. Are these your initials? Yes. And is that your signature? I also have before me a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Integers. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defender Signature. Is this your signature? Now, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, did you read everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Now, Mr. Solomon, based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements of the appointment of a court-appointed attorney, and the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Todd LeBlanc. Attorney Todd LeBlanc will give information on how to contact you, and you will also be given information on how to contact Mr. LeBlanc. Once you get that information from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please stand on the X in front of the court coordinator or X. Next case is cause number M333180, case of Style of State of Texas versus Jermaine Paul Beverly. Mr. Beverly, would you please come forward? Mr. Beverly, pull your pants up. Mr. Beverly, your full name is Jermaine Paul Beverly?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Beverly, previously you had signed a document indicating to the court that you wanted to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself. Is that correct? Now, is that still your position, or have you changed your position?
Your Honor, just to be clear, I admonished Mr. Beverly. I also gave him an offer. He rejected that offer, and I explained to him that now these are the options you'll have, and I'll let the judge explain them again. But he rejected the offer.
Okay. Now you have you have an option to one, as I mentioned to you earlier, during the arraignment, that you have a right to hire an attorney. If you can't afford to hire an attorney, you have a right to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. And the third option that you chose, you had a right to waive your right to have an attorney to represent yourself. Okay. And because you waived your right to have an attorney and represent yourself, then you had then you were allowed to or permitted to talk to the prosecutor about your case to see whether or not y'all can work out an agreed plea bargain agreement. Now, also in that document that indicated to you what your rights were regarding your attorney, there's a statement at the bottom that says that if you change your mind, then you can request and that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, what do you want to do regarding this case? Well, I mean, I also had mentioned to you that if you cannot work out a plea bargain agreement, now, I told you, first of all, you had a right to have a trial by jury. And if you have a right to waive your right to have a trial by jury, or you had a right to have a bench trial. That means that the trial would come before the court, and the court will listen to the evidence and decide whether or not you're guilty or innocent. And the other option was you can talk to the prosecutor, see if y'all can work out an agreed plea bargain agreement. If you cannot work out a plea bargain agreement, then your other option was, if you still want to enter a plea of guilty or no contest, you have an option to go before the court, before the judge, and let the judge assess the punishment. Okay. Now, if the judge assesses punishment, it's settled, which means you can't go back and say, you don't know what the judge is going to give you ahead of time. And whatever the judge set the punishment at, then that will be the punishment. Okay. So those options are on the table to you. Now, if you want some time to think about it, we can give you some time to think about it. Or if you know what you want to do, you can tell the court what you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, Mr. Beverly, you have a right to remain silent. And then anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to have an attorney, can afford an attorney will be appointed to represent you. Now, and you have a right to have an attorney to be present with you doing any questioning, if there's any what we call custodial interrogation. And at this point, there is no custodial interrogation. I'm just letting you know that anything that you say in this court can and will be used against you in the court of law. Right now is not the time for you to try your case. I just simply want to know whether or not you want to represent yourself, whether or not you want to see if you qualify for court-appointed attorney, whether or not you want to see if you can hire an attorney. Time to hire an attorney.
How much time can I get hiring an attorney?
Okay, we usually give 60 days.
Days.
Yes.
Staying for work right now.
Okay, but normally if you hire an attorney, the attorney will contact this court. They will send what is called a letter of representation, informing the court that they have been hired to represent you. And normally what happens when that is done, that attorney will request that the case be reset to another date to give them time to get discovery from the state, to see the evidence, as well as talk to the state about the case. And then they'll have some time to talk to you about the case as well. And also they'll have time to do their own independent investigation. Okay. So you want your case to be reset to give you some time to hire an attorney?
Judge, if you want to talk about the facts, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you can't talk about the facts of the case at this time. Okay. So I know right now you are representing yourself. You have talked to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor has indicated I guess you made an offer to him. That offer that the prosecutor made to you was rejected by you. So at this point, you do not have an offer. You are still representing yourself at this point. But if you want to change your mind, that is, if you want to decide to either hire an attorney or see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, we can do that.
Yes. Can you see if I qualify for?
Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do, you're gonna have a seat at that table. You'll be provided a Jefferson County affidavit of indigence, and you need to fill that information out. If you need some help filling that document out, we have our court staff who will be happy to assist you with filling the document out. So at this time, the court will be in recess to give you an opportunity